Welcome, whippersnappers. This is Gramps. So, we're taking a look at this demo for a game called Shapes 2. This is just out on Steam, and I played the original Shapes. I was very addicted to it. It's similar in concept to Factorio. The original Shapes was purely a 2D top down look, very low graphics. This is 3D, a lot of changes, but the concept is still the same. Now, I literally have not played this yet. I just downloaded it yesterday and was waiting to make a video. So we're just going to play through a little bit and see how it goes. I am very excited about this. I can't wait for it to come out. It looks great, and it's a very simple concept game. It's one of those games that starts off very simply and then just ramps up the difficulty. That said, it's low stress. I mean, compared to Factorio, you're not running out of resources. I mean, assuming this is the same as Shape's original, you don't run out of resources. You just you don't have some of the limitations. There's no you're not fighting off biters. You're not doing out that sort of stuff. It has a different little twist to it. So pretty exciting. Let's get into it. The only thing I've done is I've turned down volume of music and that sort of stuff. So this is a new game. Literally, this is my first time playing it. So we're in the demo, regular and sandbox. Sandbox is great that they'll have that. There were 5 different graphics options. I just chose the middle one. I'm not playing on a super machine here. And here's our map generation seed. Okay. Welcome, operator, to the Vortex platform. To advance in your role as operator, you need to complete research goals by delivering shapes directly to the Vortex. Completing them grants you upgrades, new structures, and more challenging goals. If you have any doubts or questions, you can call up further information by opening the knowledge panel by hitting G or on the top right of the screen. Your plans lie in wait. It is time to continue. Continue. Okay. So here are our resource patches, and I'm just using WASD and scroll wheel for now. And I just accidentally unbuilt those. That's fine. Another thing is that you're not limited. Like in Factorio, you have to build the belts before you use them. That's not the case here. Okay, select the extractor with 6 and place it on the surface. Okay, so this is the extractor. It's going to extract these these resources. And you can see as we click on them, the little circle shapes start to pop up. So, boom, boom, boom. Now they're all coming onto a belt together. We may divvy that up into 2 separate belts. And we're going to drag that on over here. And this is a new item. And Control Z will undo. So good old stuff. Look at that. They're just going to rock it on over there. That's pretty cool. Now here is a patch of squares. So let's do the same for this. I'm turning it using the R key. And I'm going to just drag a bunch of those. Oh, not that one. So I'm just going to drag them right over here into the vortex. If you don't have, hold this to rotate the camera. Okay, so you can hold the middle mouse to rotate the camera. And then open the hotkey overview right here. Excellent. So this is the hotkey. Good to know C is the pipette. I haven't played Shapes in a while, so I think that a lot of the commands are the same, but I've forgotten them. So our main goal, half destroyer. Okay, the technology that we've unlocked is destroys the west half of any shape, outputting what remains. Excellent. So that is right here, little cutter. And you can see that's the icon. So they want us to place 6 half destroyers. So let's get in here. First of all, I'm gonna actually unbuild that. So, and sending shapes you don't directly need to the vortex is fine. Oh, and actually, the main goal is this 90-degree clockwise rotator. So they want us to do that over here. All right, so we're coming back over here. We're gonna unbuild you guys. All right, boom. So we've built 6 of those. Now we want to deliver the main shape. So that brings it in. I just bring it into these destroyers. And so that's doing that. So we're going to bring those and deliver those into the vortex now. Oh, and the vortex accepts any rotation, so that's good. So it just wants a bunch. It wants 20. You can see up here, 0 out of 20. So it wants 20 of these guys. So that's going to be done pretty quickly here. And of course, if we wanted to speed things up, we could do this. Because you can see they're getting backed up here. That's it. By the time these ones get to the vortex, the goal is going to have been met. And you can see this first one goes in, so this 0 should go up to 1. Yeah. So you're limited at the start of the game with the inputs. You've got these 4 inputs on each side. And that seems like way more than you need, but it's cool that we have all these ones that we can unlock eventually too. All right, what's our next goal? Click to unlock. The 90-degree clockwise rotator. Good to know. So shapes can be processed in multiple steps. Place a rotator between half destroyers to deliver the goal. Okay, this one's showing us with circles. Okay, so we've got a half destroyer here, and then a rotator, and then a half destroyer. And that's going to make just one little pie wedge, and it wants 40 of those. So we've got half destroyers, and that. Oops, don't want that. Okay. And we can speed it up by just building more. And then linking them in. It's going to want 40 of these. Now, eventually, we should end up with tools that don't destroy, they will just cut. And then you could literally take that one circle and cut it into 4 of the shapes that you need. You see those are going in. We're at 16. Oh, hello. Oh, we don't want that. Let's just do this. Okay. So we were getting backed up there. Much quicker. Okay. Now, and again, at the same time, these guys are still feeding in there too, which is perfectly fine. Okay, now we have a second floor. Cool. Okay, so we have a couple of different goals that we can do. To increase belt speed, we just need to feed in 180 just regular squares. To increase cutting speed, we need to feed in 20 half circles. So let's do this. Let's get rid of these guys. And just replace that. Boom. So those will just be half circles going in. So that's going to increase our cutting speed. The main goal over here is so we can build a stacker. The stacker needs 50 just quarter cubes. Let's take one of these. Let's take two of them. And we're just going to feed regular squares in. Then what we want to do is get the two of the half destroyers and put a turner in the middle. So that should start creating, yeah, just the corner pieces that we need. Which is great. We're gonna again start increase this. By adding that. And I think we will take this on its own and just feed it in. And just do that. Okay. That way we're not getting a backup that we were getting. The cutting speed is unlocked. So that goal is met. That was over here. Now there are also, if you're hunting achievements, there are also achievements for feeding in like 1,000,000 of this shape or 500 of that shape, whatever. So let's look at the crossover. It's kind of cool. So cruise, and then the T is showing us research. Excellent. E. Okay. So let's see here. Let me redo that. Redo all this. Okay. So if we had a belt cruising along here, boom, then we hit E and do that, and then Q takes us back down. Did I do that? I'm just not doing that right. Okay. All right, we have unlocked our stacker and our belt speed upgrade. So that is good. Okay, this is why people, play through the game first before doing a video. that. And that. And that. Did that do it? No, I don't think so. Let's see here. I don't think it's going to feed it up there. Could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm right, unfortunately. Okay. So let's look at research here. Okay, you know what? We're going to come back to that. The double level is pretty cool. All right, so we've got a stacker now. Okay, so we can always find more information in the knowledge panel. Here's the knowledge panel. Okay, let's look at this quickly here. Belts across floors. The floor up and down. Press, while still dragging, press E to go up. Okay, so let's try that again. Boom. Boom. And then Q. Okay, that's it. That's what we want. Okay. So it's while you're still dragging, then you hit Q and E. Okay, it wants us to place 4 stackers with a gap between each of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Connect the stackers and deliver the goal shape. Okay, what's the goal shape? The goal shape is a circle within a square. So we want the square going in at the bottom and the circle in the top. Okay. I'm going to delete those. So let's come down here and build those. So you can rotate them. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want full squares coming in at the bottom. Okay, so that is going to bring squares in. Now if I leave this connected, it's just going to alternate. Send 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And now let's grab some circles. I'm going to delete all of that. And bring them in there. And go up. Okay. Now on this upper level, again hitting E, okay, and it's giving you a little preview of what it's going to output. So that's exactly what we want. So then we're going to want to take those up here and toss them in. So we'll see if that works. That's kind of cool, little spatula that lifts them up. So it should compress and boom, makes exactly what we want. So 0 out of 80, and now 1 out of 80. So we can go up to the second floor and we can build a rotator up here if we wanted to. It's not going to do anything. So this is going to get us a cutter if we make this shape. So that is interesting. Instead of that, let's do this. And down here, let's do this. I think that is not going to work, so I'm going to put in a rotator and another rotator. So I think that's going to start making those shapes. Of course, we've now cut off our main goal, but we're going to get a cutter in the meantime, if this works. Still feeding through some of the old shapes that were in there. Okay, this should start coming in now. There we go. So this guy right up here, that's the shape we want. So we should start getting all those coming in. And we just need 80 of those. So I'm going to do, in the meantime, let's come up here and go back and rebuild that first one. So we want 4 stackers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is just a random number. And then we want to drag some plain squares in there. I'm going to just unbuild all this, but not that. Okay, I'm going to unbuild this. Okay, so as you're dragging, you can hit C to anchor. That's pretty groovy. Then over here, I'm going to unbuild all this. So we don't need that right now. And bring this in here. And then go up and drag it along to there. Okay, so that's going to start making our main goal items. Then again, this is this. These will all feed together and just go in there. And you can see that's going to be the shape that we want. Did that do it? No, okay, there we go. And in the meantime, we've met our cutter goal over here with that guy. Oh, so the cutter separates the west half from the east half and outputs both separately. So again, that's a quicker way if you need to do those little single pie pieces. Although we're not going to need to do those again for quite a while. I mean, it's not going to need the singles anymore. Okay, in the meantime, look, we can go back by doing this. Oops. Excellent. So now we have basically 2 areas, two machines doing the same thing. We've got this guy and this guy. This one has a lot of extra into it. I'm going to just drag that guy into there. Undo that and undo that. Okay. We're going to be well at our goal without all that extra stuff. Oops. Control Z. You can use Shift with the right mouse button to delete an entire area. Good to know. Okay. Now we can unlock the counterclockwise rotator. Sometimes it's easier to rotate counterclockwise. Okay. Oh, so our next goal is blueprints. Very exciting. So we have a tricky guy here. So a couple of extra goals too. By getting 120 this shape, we'll end up with trash. Well, this is that guy cut in half, right? So we can do this. We'll grab in our little cutter here and feed those in. Now look at that. We should get 2 of those going at, yep, those are 2 at a time. That's what we want. And so we're going to do the same over here. Two at a time. Because it doesn't care the orientation. So now we're getting 4 at a time of those. So that is great. So that's going to get us a trash. The trash is going to be handy because that's going to help us get rid of roadblocks. So that is something. And then this is stacking speed. So you can see there's always, there's multiple goals. And once it starts going, it just keeps increasing in difficulty. We have not introduced color into things. There's all sorts of different shapes besides squares and circles. We've got these little pointy guys. Let's see what else we can see out here. So here's some colors. That's a circle. So that's a circle, a square, and a pointy guy. This is just right in this one area here. There's a lot more. So we can hit our home to come back to the vortex. And then there's going to be something, I assume, to be able to get us past all of this empty space, not just the little jumper ramps. Good. So now we have trash. It just destroys items. Again, that is super helpful. So we can work on stacking speed now if we want. Let's do this. Let's shift and right mouse. Just delete all that. Just let that one keep going for kicks. Now, what we want, here, I'm just gonna, let's just trash all this. Okay, what I would like to create is some of just the little bottom right corner here. Okay, so I'm going to do that by bringing out squares. And then I'm going to cut those squares. Then I'm going to rotate each of those. If I rotate this way, yeah. And then if I rotate this one this way, that's good. Okay, so now we have them both there. Now, I'm going to bring this up here and cut those guys in half. And we're going to cut those guys in half. Oh, there we go. That's what we want. So what we want is this bottom right, or yeah, so the top exit of both. But we can do a counterclockwise rotate on both of those and end up with 4. So now we have 4 of each of those, and we like that. Okay, over here, circle, we want to cut out that section. So I'm going to get rid of a chunk of these. Now let's do a split here. Hitting F will flip it around, give you a mirror. Now I'm going to counterclockwise rotate both of those. And then I'm going to I want to destroy that though. So I'm going, what do I want to do? I'm going to just rotate both of those. It doesn't really matter, I think. And then if I get rid of the west one, that leaves me with that. And then I will rotate it back clockwise. And stack it. This is definitely not going to be the most efficient way to do this. I'm just kind of free styling it as we go. Okay, see, now we end up with that, which is good, because then that is going to match up with this. And on this, the stacking order doesn't really matter, because they are going into missing spaces. So it doesn't matter. I'm just going to build 4 because, and get those into there. What did I do? Okay, that, and then E. Okay, so that should bring those in. And then, yeah, you see that's the shape that we want. We want to get rid of that little cutter or splitter and just chuck them in. Okay, we want 120 of those. So we, in theory, want to ramp up production. Now, the best way to do that would be with blueprints. But blueprints we don't have yet until we finish this goal. Because with a blueprint, you could just copy, paste, paste, paste. So let's just do this the old-fashioned way. And I'm just going to use the picker tool. That. Okay. Bring those in and toss them in there. Okay. And what's going on here? Oh my god. Okay. We have no output. That's why it's all stopped up. And yes, that's making the shape we want. Why is this one not? This one is not at all. Why are you like this? Because of that. Oops. Yes, there's almost always a simple answer and logical. So look at those little tweaked ones. Okay. That's what we want. Oh, we want that to go through. All right, what's our hold up here? What is it? User error? You're trying to tell me? Sheesh. For reals? Okay, yes. I blew it. Okay, we've got 30 of those, and it is chugging along. I think we could do another one of these, just looking at the backup. So I'm going to try and do one correctly. We can actually put that there. Boom, boom. There we go. And then this is the actual output. See, it's getting more compact. The build is getting better. It's still not a great build. I know there's a better way to do it. But all I want are blueprints, so I don't care. This seems to be full of of these guys, which is good. We just need to get a decent number of the circle shape coming in. And once we get blueprints, life will be so much more magical. You'll see. We also have this. Let's start working on this guy. This is going to increase our stacking speed. So the stacking is slow. That is very slow. I am going to nuke that and come up here, and I'm just going to nuke those guys. Okay. So what I want to do is get this guy split. I'm going to just split it. Split it good. Okay. Then I'm going to take half of that split. First I'm going to turn this guy like that. And I'm going to turn this guy like that. Nope. This guy like that. It doesn't matter. Okay, this is where you can see it's all held up because there's nothing going through because it got blocked. Okay, good. So I'm going to get rid of that, and then instead I'm going to do a west delete, which gives us a single. And I think we can stack those two. We have blueprints. Okay, because we have blueprints, let's do this. Get a stacker. And I'm going to put it here. And see if that works. I think it's not. Yeah, that should work. Okay, yep. That's going to work because orientation doesn't matter, right? Okay, so while those are feeding in to increase the stacking speed, we're going to look at blueprints. So blueprints allow you to copy-paste parts of your factory, and it is wondrous. So what we can do is we can copy this. All right, how do we do it though? So shift left mouse, and then got it. So you select it first, and then move it and paste it down. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to feed into there, and feed into there. Then Control V brings it up again. Okay. So again, not the most efficient build, but using blueprints means you can take that efficiency and multiply it, or that inefficiency and multiply it. So we need to start getting points, and those points are going to allow us to do bigger blueprints. Doing blueprints spends these points. And our next main goal will get us space platforms, which is a brand new thing, which is cool. So back here, you can see that this shape, which we did create before, is going to increase belt speed to 2. This L shape is going to increase stacking speed 1. This shape is going to get us a swapper, which receives 2 shapes and swaps their west halves, which is cool. And this one's going to do a cutting speed increase. So you can choose if you want to do these types of goals, or if you want to just charge forward and do your main goal. So cloning costs blueprint points. Yeah, so these are the blueprint points up here. And so those are going up with this guy here. So wait, are we still feeding these in? Yes, we are. Where are we doing those? Oh, down here. Okay, cool. So those are still feeding in. Now, like I said, we've got a ton of these little squares here. We can get more of these in here. One way is by feeding more of that in. So we need to just feed more circles in there. And that's going to increase that. So by feeding these in, we're gaining blueprint points. And they want us to spend at least 50 points. Okay, so we can do that probably. Let's get an overhead view here. So selecting this tells us copying it is going to cost 18 blueprint points. So we actually want to spend 50 points. Okay, so let's just do 2 of them. And some extra belts. There we go. Okay. Again, not the most efficient way to do this, but we want to spend these points. So we're doing that. Okay. And we can increase that to there. And these guys we can just feed in here. So it's kind of funny side by side like this. You can see how that design changed by whether by choice or not. So once we get this all loaded up, we'll be making these guys pretty quickly. And doing this, so the shape code. All right. So you'll have these shape codes which show the different designs in the different layers. So this is the top layer, the circle. C is circle. U is gray, basically, or uncolored. So CU, 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 CU. CU, RU, this is the rectangle, R, U, CU, CU. Okay? So those shape codes come in later. Later, you end up with all sorts of great circuitry and whatnot that you can use to control things. And you can put in, you can say, hey, give me this code, and it will generate that code for you. It will generate that shape. We've got stacking speed unlocked. So now our stacking is going to happen quicker. The belt speed is on its way. You can see that's a lot faster now. Uh-oh. We've got some shenanigans going on. What's going on? This one is wrong. Why are you the way you are? If you're wrong, then this one should be wrong. Or no. Yeah. No, if this one's wrong, then this one should be wrong. And it is, see? Uh-huh. All right, what did we do? Okay, it wasn't we. It was me. I know. There should not be another spinner here. That's what we want, but then we do want to give it a spin at the end, because we want it to be like that. Okay. So of course we blueprint copied the one we don't want. Okay. That is going to correct itself right there. Okay, much better. Okay, good job. So anyway, you can see this, it starts off very simple. It gets really deep and pretty quickly, actually. I mean, now we're already being asked to build space platforms. That's a whole thing there. You can see our blueprint points are already going up to 70s, so that's good. I assume that is coming up next is going to be colors, after we get the space platforms going. And I think that eventually there's going to be more layers. Right now we only have the 2 levels, and I think eventually there's like 7 or 8 different levels. Right now, I think in the demo only has 2, is what I've heard. So there's lots of stuff here. Let's call it for this one, and we will. I'll probably make another 1 or 2 videos on the demo, but let me know what you think. I mean, it's a fun game. Have you ever played Factorio? Yeah, I've played a lot of Factorio, a lot, too much, really, Factorio, and Satisfactory and those types of games. This really kind of helps scratch that itch, but it's more puzzle. And like I said, there's not a big deal. Like if you're feeding the wrong shape into the machine, well, it just delays things, and you're gonna find out sooner or later. But you can see these things are just filling a belt and just rocketing in there. This is kind of perfect right now. So anyway, let me know what you think of this game. Is this something you would buy? And would you like to see more videos on it? Is this have you played Shapes 1? If not, go grab that. It's cheap. I think it's under $10 on Steam. Super worth it. Just so fun. In fact, I think there's even a free version. You can play at Shapes with a Z.io, and you can play that in a browser. And I think it is totally free. So just check it out. And you'll see it's very different than it's literally just the top-down view without without all the angles. So it's super fun, and I recommend that one as well. But this is looking like it's going to be pretty amazing. I mean, you can see. Okay, are you getting an idea of the scope now? All right, I'll hope you're enjoying this. We'll try it again. This is Gramps signing off.